Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to my office. It's really nice to be back here. I haven't spent a whole lot of time here lately. You know, it's been 6 months since we originally stopped meeting in our churches, and a lot's happened, including here at church. So it seemed like it was about time for me to give you an update. First, here's a little information on how we are responding to the COVID-19 crisis. Soon after this started, I formed a team of people to help me with decision-making around how to keep our congregation safe. That group has been meeting all spring and all summer and working very hard to examine the situation from every angle. I'm very grateful to Elaine Shaw for chairing this team and also looking out for our staff. To Ann Cox, Jim Danforth, and Henry Brown for bringing their knowledge of our buildings to us and our discussions. To Dr. Jeff Punch and Dr. Christine Brenner for advising us around medical issues. To Tim Kobler and Rick Miller for representing the Wesley Foundation. To Elaine Logan as a representative from the Finance Committee. To Ted Brokaw, Bill Houghton, and Jim Higdon for their expertise in communications and logistics. And to John Klein and Tom Hams, who have been invaluable in advising us on legal concerns. This whole situation continues to change, and so they will continue to meet until, well, we don't need them to anymore. The decisions this team has had to make have sometimes been really hard, but everyone has contributed from their area of expertise to help to keep the congregation safe and acknowledge the potential risks. As of today, this group is recommending that we not return to our sanctuaries for worship for quite a while, quite possibly not until next year. However, they also know how much we love to be in our buildings for Advent and Christmas, so they will reevaluate that decision in early November. That's the bad news. Now here's the good news. We have so much going on at church this fall. The staff and lay leadership has been very busy trying to come up with ways to keep us connected. So here are a few to look forward to. We'll be having several events to bring us together safely. We'll be having outdoor open houses at Greenwood. You could stop by, see some friends, say hello. Then in October, we'll have 2 work days at Greenwood to work on the grounds there. And the first weekend in October, we plan to have a church-wide World Communion Weekend celebration. You can receive communion in person at small outdoor services, or you can drive through either Greenwood or downtown to receive the elements, or we can bring communion to you. In worship, we'll continue doing the recorded worship services that we've been doing, and we hope to start offering more Greenwood-style alternatives for worship as well. This weekend, we'll kick off our fall sermon series entitled Courageous Faith, and we'll look at characters from the Bible who have needed great courage to do what God calls them to do, much like we all do today. I plan to have a Zoom sermon chat on Sundays at 5 o'clock starting this weekend, a chance for us to talk about the sermon and just check in with each other. Of course, our choirs and musicians will continue preparing virtual music offerings for our worship services. This is a great time to join them. Finally, for you early risers, Amy Kennedy has resumed the Wednesday morning Rise and Shine services again, this time on Zoom. And for those who don't get up so early, Carol DeHart and Debbie Houghton are continuing to offer Wednesday evening Vespers services. Our watchwords as a staff and a congregation this fall are courage and connection. We hope to help you draw on your courage and to stay connected to each other and to God. In addition to what I mentioned earlier, here are some other ways to keep connected this fall. The Joy Time Tea Times, our online gatherings for our just older youth. Rather than having them in for lunch, we'll be having them for tea on Zoom. Doorstep Disciples reach out to people who are having difficulty accessing, caring, and connected and other church news online. The Zoom Happiness Hours are a great way to check in with other church members and friends. And we have outdoor activity groups, an opportunity to gather safely before the weather changes. If social connection feeds our hearts, faith formation is what feeds our faith and keeps us growing. Our children's and youth ministries have already started with small outdoor meetups and front porch visits. Children's small groups start next weekend, and they'll be studying the same stories that I'm preaching on. In adult faith formation, our regular Sunday classes have started up again on Zoom. In addition, check out these other offerings. A brown bag Bible study, Tuesdays at noon or Thursdays at 7:30. Mindfulness practice, Thursdays mornings from 8 to 9. And a book study of Jesus and the Disinherited by Howard Thurman, led by Amy Kennedy, Tuesdays at 6:30. Meanwhile, our new Justice League has started up hard work under Shona Chiruza's leadership to support our existing mission and outreach programs, help us to start new ones, and guide us in advocating for social justice. Many of our usual outreach and mission projects are continuing in some form, including Love Thy Neighbor and Alpha House. You can learn about those and other opportunities for service and justice work in our new newsletter, the Justice and Action News. Forming the Justice League is one of the 5 strategic priorities that make up our strategic plan. We've made a lot of progress over the last 6 months on the others as well. Our communications team is working on updating our website, and we've just hired a new part-time communications director. Her name is Jessica Allison. Our small groups ministry team is launching small group leader training this fall with a plan to begin the groups themselves sometime towards the end of the year. Our worship team is exploring how to improve our existing worship service as well as how to increase our online presence. And the resources team has helped us to create a relationship with Shalom Community Church, who will be starting to rent Greenwood for Sunday morning worship services. On a practical note, though the program staff is mostly working from home, there is someone from the staff here every weekday. You can call and leave a message, and Tina will be sure to get it to whomever you'd like to reach. Also, we plan to have tents set up downtown and at Greenwood, where committees and small groups can meet. Once the weather changes, we'll make the social hall in Greenwood available for groups of 10 or fewer to meet, 1 group per day. You can schedule those through Tina. Finally, I want to say that all of this is possible because of you. Your generosity funds all the missions and ministries of this church, and I am very grateful to report that so far our church has stayed financially stable through this crisis. Meanwhile, your gifts to the COVID-19 fund are helping individuals in need as well as area agencies like Hope Clinic, Justice for Our Neighbors, and Food Gatherers. Thank you. Thank you for every gift that you give. I miss you all, and I can't wait until we can all be together again. But despite the global pandemic and everything else that's going on in the world, God is still at work here at First United Methodist Church of Ann Arbor. And I truly believe that with courage and connection, we will continue to have an impact on our congregation, our community, and our world. Thanks be to God.